Well, well, the great and glorious Green Lantern. Would you run out of alien menaces to beat on? You got a hornet on my turf?
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the DCE fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for the story we're about to look at today. We are looking at Green Lantern number 77. Yes, I know the cover says Green Lantern Green Arrow, but it's really Green Lantern 77. So we covered 76. This is from 1970 by Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams, who were also working on Batman. Now, I have a problem with a little bit of this. I'm going to tell you why here. First of all, we get this cover here. So, left wing ideology doesn't bother me. Right wing ideology per se doesn't bother me either. What does bother me is Green Lantern going on this trip through Earth, dealing with problems with a ring that is powered by imagination and can basically end any conflict. I know they will go out of their way to try and make a believable story. I have a problem. I don't mind if he tried something similar to this in outer space or something, or if he, going through Earth with this. I just don't think Green Lantern works on Earth unless he's with the Justice League dealing with something like that. So yeah, so that's my biggest problem with this is Green Lantern on Earth. I just, like I said, I just don't think it works. And especially they took a Guardian with them. So the Guardian here is reporting all the way to Oa, which is in the center of the universe. So glad they have a great communications to make it to the center of the universe. It is a strange place, this planet Earth, here in what is called the mountains. The mountain, like they're using word they know what fucking mountains are. Okay, the air is keen as a blade, not soft like that of our native Oa. So there he is sitting in the back of this pickup truck, and the heat lies over man and beast alike like a sheet of lead. I ride in a vehicle, the Terrence Terma truck, piloted by the Green Lantern of Earth and one known as Green Arrow. I must temporarily end this transmission, my brothers, for I'm about to experience violence, and suddenly they're shot. So, Green Lantern and Green Arrow, Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams with Frank Giacola, and of course Julie Schwartz, who apparently is the editor in chief at DC Comics, because he basically his name's everywhere. So, and so the premise of our series here with Green Lantern, Green Arrow is three men searching for America, one member of the Galactic Guardians away from the security of his homeworld, the others creatures of Earth seeking an answer, a creed, an identity, come with Green Lantern and Green Arrow on a journey to desolation. So Green Arrow and Hal Jordan get off the truck. Look at Neil Adams is amazing. I'm gonna go into another segue here. So when I cover um Jack Kirby and I tell people I don't like Jack Kirby's art, a lot of people go like I'm some kind of like how dare you? But this is 1970 and look how beautifully Neil Adams was drawing. And if I were to bring you, and you look at Gene Colan, and you look at John Romita, and you look at even contemporaries like, oh my God, Steve Ditko and John Buscema, Sal Buscema, it just, yeah. So anyway, All right, so Green Lantern is taking off his shirt instead of right. These days he uses his ring to change, but here apparently they have to change into their costume to deal with the with the bullets. Can't find them in civilian clothes. Gotta make sure we. And so, um, Green Arrow says, "Ready, pal? You bet your fern." And so he uses an arrow that causes the shotgun to melt. And he points up, says, "GL up there, right." And so my power beam isn't reaching. What? This thing is made for outer space, man. Whatever. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways, or at least the most dependable. So Green Arrow uses his arrow, hits this. Do you see kind of what I mean? How this already is not even believable. So he can't reach a tree. But I mean, all right. Fight's over. Haul him in. I'm curious. Are mountain folks always so inhospitable, or do they just have a thing about traveling superheroes? Which, people use roads all the time, and this stuff never happens. So, Jacob, maybe we made a mistake. Now look at how they're dressed. They gotta be from the city, and that means they're more slappers hired killers, or more of slap. Okay. You should talk, fella. You may not be killers, but not for lack of trying. And we want to know why, says Green. I'm sorry, both Greens. Says Green Lantern. So don't trust him, Jacob. Appears we gotta. If they belong to Slapper, we're dead anyway. Listen here, mister. I'm gonna tell ya what you stumbled into, and it's a story as'll curl your toes. Okay. All right. This whole Bleem Mountain is run by Mr. Slapper Solms, and if ever there was a meaner man, I don't want to know about him. You see, we all work in Slapper's mind, mostly because we don't know any other kind of work. And even if we did, there ain't none around. So this here must be a Slapper here. Slapper runs the mine. He owns the law, such as it is. Bunch of bully boys he brung from the outside and dressed up in fancy uniforms. So here you can see them. We plain folks scratching out a living where maybe smarter ones would give up. But dang it, this belongs to us. It belonged to our daddies and granddaddies. I'm a little old here. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger here. And we just plain didn't take the Slapper's gunmen shoving us around. But we didn't know any way of fighting them. So here you can see this lady's buying groceries and they're just pushing them around. So then one of our local boys, name of Johnny Walden, taught himself to play on the guitar, started singing songs about us and our troubles, and suddenly we found some real self-respect and a whole lot of discontent with the way we've been treated. So this dude apparently wrote himself a country song. It was 1 week last Monday. Slapper's bullies dragged Johnny away, and they rigged a kangaroo court, and Slapper personally sentenced Johnny to hang. It's 1970s. They weren't hang. Jesus. They didn't hang people. That's gonna happen tomorrow at dawn unless we stop it. And we're gonna jump Slapper's place tonight. And so Green Arrow says, "You blasted us because you mistook us for more hoods, huh? Well, mister, you were wrong. You're about to get some first-class help, experienced guarantee." And Green Lantern says, "Hold on, Green Arrow. This is none of our business. If this Solms is really in charge." And of course, so here comes Green Arrow, who's about to teach him the error of his ways. Oh boy, now I've heard it all. Because Solms muscled his way into authority, he's a good guy, huh? So all three all three of these all go to Green Arrow here. Pal, Hitler was the boss of Germany, remember? And there was this Genghis Khan, Nero. Throughout history, cheap punks have made themselves leaders regardless of their titles. They were still cheap punks. So, and the Guardian says, perhaps the Guardian, Green Lantern says, perhaps the Guardian can advise us. I feel the situation certainly bears further investigation. Say it again, Shorty, and he slaps him in the back. One thing bothers me. When we were fighting, my ring temporarily failed. And the Guardian says, I shall attempt to contact Oa and inquire about this. However, telepathic conditions are adverse, and it may require several hours. Yeah, it's a long way to the center of the universe. Meanwhile, we can be ankling it into town. Okay, I don't know what that means. So this here, we got the town of Desolation, and here's Soam's store. So, yep, just two superheroes wearing green, walking around. So, we ready, Jacob, says the town folk. You give us the word, and we'll go after Slapper. Good, boys, I got us some help. These fellas are pure devils when it comes to fighting. Where is this guy Soam, says Green Arrow? Up there, behind his store. So you can see here, he's created himself some kind of fortress. And you figure to attack that with clubs and pitchforks? Are you out of your mind? Soam has built a blasted fort. Go get a few tanks and a couple of artillery regiments, then maybe you'll have a chance. Otherwise, you'll be wiped out before you get started. And so, the guy goes up to Green Arrow and says, now look here, you want to help, that's fine. You don't go shooting off your mouth with the big city advice. Don't want it, don't need it. We know what we're doing. Tell it to the Undertaker, chum, says Green Arrow. So, Green Arrow, for being a liberal, he doesn't take too much lip here. So, never mind him, boys. You all behind me. Lead the way, Jacob. We're gonna get us some Slapper's hide. So, at that moment, Slapper, of course, is hot. So he's got his feet on ice and the fan blowing here. And the other guy's singing this year in the jail. You bet you're gonna die, sweetheart. The guy was singing about dying here. Of course, if we planned right, you ain't gonna be the only one. You sing real purty, Johnny. I'm sure gonna miss you, but you got to be strung up. He says, 'cause I riled the miners. Sheeks, no, I'm grateful to you. You saved me some trouble. The guy says here, Soames. No problem with you is you're the wandering kind. A year, maybe two, you'd leave Desolation, and with your talent, you'd get noticed, maybe even famous, like the other singer, that Dylan fella, meaning Bob Dylan. And then reporters and whatnot would come snooping around, and we don't want outsiders in these parts, 'cause outsiders to see how you treat folks like slaves. Ain't that the ever-loving truth? He says so. And so this guy says, the peasants prepare an attack, leader. Nobody talks like that. Fine, give the boys the word, and remember, only kill about a third of them. The rest gotta be back to work in the morning, and knock off that leader stuff. You ain't still working for Adolf, he says. So he must mean he's German. And so Green Lantern does his little oath. Love that the green is at the background, and it's a yellowish green. Just so that's pretty cool. And very Jim Lee-ish. And what I mean is a lot of the marks Jim Lee would make, the cross-hatching, you can see it employed here. I think Neal Adams definitely was a big influence on Jim Lee. So, and again, look at how the art just flows. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, I used to speak the oath with pride, with conviction, but now I'm not convinced of anything. The world isn't the black and white place I thought it might be. Once I might have fought for Solms, but Green Arrow has made me think that maybe authority isn't always right, and I don't know what is just. Sure you do. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Are we going to help them or not, says Green Lantern, who, by the way, could have just ended this. Help them commit suicide, not this Archer. So, all set, boys, then charge. Um, and so here comes everybody, but suddenly, boom. And then you can see here, two guys are getting killed here. And this guy's trying to avoid the fire or getting hit with bullets. And Green Arrow's like, that dirty, dirty, dirty. So, come on, I can't just stand by and watch him be slaughtered. I'm going to. I'll be right on your heels. He's got the ring. I guess they said the ring isn't very powerful or something. So, I'll give him some cover, a smoke screen, he says. So he shoots an arrow with smoke. My ring can get rid of those explosives instantly. Next, I'll clear a path. And he seriously uses a wire cutter to cut the barbed wire. So some of Soam's thugs, they think I can't see them through the smoke, planning to bushwhack me. I'll let them have their fun. It'll spook them clear out of their skulls when my ring automatically protects me from the bullets. And so here comes the Guardian here. Attention, Green Lantern of Earth. I've established telepathic contact with Oa in the matter of your ring. Although the Guardians know not why your ring partially failed, they have reached another decision. Because you are on a leave of absence from your regular duties, they have reduced your ring's potency. It is no longer guards you from mortal injury. Man, those things are little assholes. So here is Green Lantern all of a sudden realizing crap. And so the Guardians have thinked out on me because I no longer run errands for them, but I was chosen for my job because I'm supposed to be brave. Courage is easy when you can't die. The ring is constantly playing mother hand, so am I. So am I really courageous? And he says, to heck with the ring. And so he goes in there and just you can see here, great, by the way, just all this energy here. Boom! Or Spock as he fires over here. Bam. To be able to prove myself again. So Uck. And he grabs the rifle here and pushes it away and hits this guy in the groin and then punches this guy. Hal Jordan says, to face the danger alone and to best it by my own strength. Ever since I joined the Lantern Corps, something was missing in my life. Something called self-reliance. Love the magenta. That last Hood's taw was like granite, hurt my knuckles, and it's the nicest pain I've ever felt. So, this guy says, Fear, the peasants battle brilliantly. They have almost reached the Vol. Use the gas grenades then, dummy, and knock off the Fuhrer stuff, or I'll send you back to the Warmind prisons I sprung you from. So, here they go. They shoot those. And so here's Green Lantern. And they explode next to him. Stunned. Body feels like a wet spaghetti. And that stuff got into my eyes. I can't see, can't think. So. And here, somebody help me. And you see a hand here. It turns out it's the Guardian. Is this Ganthet? Or is this... Mister, I can't find my daddy, and the noise and smoke. I'm afraid. Weep not, child. I shall see that you are not harmed. So, thank you. Perfectly all right. A strange feeling and emotion as this tiny earthling embraces me. Is this what it is to be human? He thinks, well, you know, it's kind of funny because in the Green Lantern Corps, there's all sorts of alien races that have emotions, but whatever. I guess it's only humans that are emotional. So, here goes these guys chasing. Oh no, these are two of the other people with Green Arrow here. We're stopped. Ain't a prayer of getting through that gate. And Green Arrow says, "Don't give up so easily. It just so happens I have in my hand a Green Arrow special." And so he's going to aim it. It's not exactly an atomic bomb class. Or atomic bomb class. But on the other hand, it'll beat any firecracker you saw. And he destroys the gate here. Today's fun and games puts me in mind of another bowman named Robin Hood. He didn't dig tyrants either. And Green Arrow shoots his arrows, but then this guy's hit in the arm. Hit the dirt, another machine gun. So I've got to make this count. How many arrows does he have? So he hits the whatever this thing is called. But then he's hit from behind with an arrow, or with the gun here. Only those 3 came through the gate. 2 wounded, leaving this one. Take him to the boss. So Ganthet is holding that little girl. They're carrying Green Arrow, and Green Lantern is still taken out. So they put Green Arrow here on this chair. And look at this drawing. Look how dynamic even sitting. Neil Adams is a wonderful artist. So this guy says, "We have beaten them back, boss. Victory is ours. I bring this man as a trophy. Ain't them duds something else? Bring Johnny Walden on out. Might as well get this done." And Green Arrow is like, "Thanks here. I've been playing possum long enough. That Tin Soldier's love tap almost but not quite KO'd me. Johnny, we decided to move your execution up a few hours now. Boss, would it be alright if I shoot him? I enjoy pulling triggers. Under all those years in prison, I never got to kill even a mouse." And Green Arrow gets up, and you can see him fling the chair here. Now that's a downright shame. Pleasant dreams of graveyards, no doubt. And then he hits Soames here. "I'd like to hit you on the chin, but that gut is such a large target." So, and then he's hit from behind. And he says, "Well, about time you got here. Jacob, I don't understand. You're on his side," he says. And he says, "Sure is. Been my man right all along. See, the miners was tending to get heated up. I figured sooner or later they'd try something. Maybe even get outside help. So Slapper, he paid me to rile them up so they'd move before they was ready. By stomping them out, we cleaned out their spunk. From now on, they'll be sweet as sheep. My trouble is near over, but enough conversation. Jacob, you finish the job. This thing's kind of messy." Using the shotgun. "Here, use this." So he tosses him would this be a Magnum? Or I don't know guns, so I apologize. I just know it's a gun, and this is a shotgun, and then I know rifles. So that's it. "Sure, Jacob, do it. You betrayed your people yourself, so why balk at murder?" So, "Arrow, I don't expect you to believe me, but I'm sorry. I got a lot of respect for you. If I can't move," and suddenly you see this here, as this gun melts. Green Lantern, he says, "At your service," and just in time it seems. "Anybody else got a revolver?" Revolver, that's what it was called. "Got a revolver they want power ringed?" Pardon me a moment. Someone finished business. "May I, Johnny, be my guest?" Mother, that felt good, as he punches Soames here. And that is that. I have questions though. How come your ring works again? How'd you get here? I happened to stumble into Jacob's secret passage. As for the ring, I'm not sure. Seems I'm pretty confused these days about what I should do, and the ring takes total concentration. But when I saw you about to get shot, well, there was no longer any doubt. So here they're taking all these men out. Justice came to desolation, and the miners won. Look at them, injured, grieving for lost friends and family. Nothing to look forward to except more poverty and ignorance. You call this winning, says Green Arrow. Come on, let's go find the pretty part of America. So, kind of a downer the way it ends with that, like that. Instead of saying, they'll regroup or something, just like, well, they're going back to their pathetic, meaningless lives. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Again, my problem is with Hal Jordan dealing with normal things, and he's got a ring that can basically end everything in 30 seconds. So, that's really that's my problem with this story. So, regardless, anyway. At least we got to see some beautiful Neal Adams art. So, Green Lantern 77, featuring Green Arrow, from June of 1970. Like and subscribe, and I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.